Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be working on my Ficus microcarpa, the one I call fancy because it has all these aerial roots and all these multi-trunks coming up to form the canopy. I've got a few details on this tree that I want to fix today. On this side of the tree, there's an aerial root that kind of comes out and it doesn't curve and flow up into the canopy like it does on this side. You can see this side is very smooth and flowing. So I think I've got to remove that one root. I know I kind of questioned it before and I chickened out. I left it on, but I think it's getting too thick now and it's got to come off. Another problem is I want there to be a flow going up into the canopy, and then eventually, you know, the canopy will hang down at the edges. This side, again, has a beautiful flow line going all the way up, a nice kind of a curve. This side isn't quite so good. It kind of comes up and then it kind of abruptly goes straight and then angles, and there's a lot of confusion in here. I'm going to take a look at that. I may do some removal in this area. And also out front, I've got a couple of branches out the front. They're coming kind of straight towards the viewer, and I think the one branch is kind of hiding the better branches behind. So I think I've got to do a little thinning in this area too. I'm sure it'll kind of upset the overall shape of the canopy a bit, but you know, it'll grow back in. If I have empty spaces here, they tend to fill in fairly quickly on these ficus. Here's a look at that root system. So this is the root I'm talking about here. It just comes from here and goes straight down. It doesn't have any kind of curve or flare to it. I think it kind of spoils the silhouette of the root base. And my root base is kind of fat and wide at the bottom compared to kind of the waist up here. So I think, you know, it could use a little thinning here anyway. I hope it looks good. If I remove that, I hope it looks good without that root. I think it will. I don't think it'll harm. There's another root kind of behind it here. I'll have to see. When I remove this root, we'll see what that one looks like. That one may have to come off too. So I've got to decide, do I want to remove that? Let me have one final look at it. I have decided that I am going to remove that root. I think I like all the roots around it. I just don't like that one being so straight like that. And it doesn't blend in very well. And it's getting quite thick for, you know, a straight root. So here I go. I'm going to sever it from the top here first. Maybe through here. Like that. Kind of got part of it cut there. So I'll try and get a little deeper. Like that. And then I can try and pry it forward. Like that, so you can see it's separated, and I've just got to get it out now. Just takes a bit of strength. Okay, so that you can see it's separated. It's not, I got to clean that up a little bit, but it's not too bad. So I'll cut it away from the bottom now. So I will try and get in there, and there's some roots kind of below that I'll try and not cut through. So I might have to nibble away at it, kind of exposing a little more with each cut. There, that's a good cut. Okay. Now I'll get the round nose cutters and do a little cleanup. You can see there's a root down here that may look good, I don't know. Alright, so here I go with my round nose cutters. I'll try and get the remains of that root removed. getting there. Don't know if I can save the root on the side here or not. I'll try. Usually these, once you remove a strong root like this, you get a lot of aerial roots that form because, it's used to having this connection from the roots up to the trunks. And when you sever that, it tends to form all these aerial roots. Okay, that's kind of hard to get in there. I might need some scissors. This also kind of creates, you can see how, the trunk is kind of smooth. And it kind of creates hollows when you remove roots like that. Kind of gives the root system more depth. Like you can see here, I've got 3 roots in a row. If I remove that middle one, I would have more interest in the trunk. I would have like a root here, and then a hollow in here. So, it's something to keep in mind. Is that you're always trying to create. I'm going to take this one off. It's just not in the right place here. You're always trying to create interest in your trunks with your aerial roots and your buttressed roots on your ficus. You don't want them kind of smooth, plain, and boring because, the ficus, that's what they're all about, is aerial roots and snake-like trunks. Interesting. Interest. Textured trunks. Okay, so that's not bad. I'll just do a little more cleanup up top here. I did get a fairly good cut, but I think I can make it a bit better. There, that's pretty good. All right, let's step back, have a look at it, see if it looks any better. I'm having a look at it now, and I think it looks way, way better. You can see the flow up here. I don't think there are any negative effects of removing that at all. I think it just really improved the root base. So I'm really happy I did that. Yeah, it's looking quite good. So now let's have a look at the branch structure and try and address some of those problems. Here's a look at that branch structure. So my first problem, I have these 2 thin branches coming forward here, which is nice to have foliage coming forward. You don't want a flat front on the tree where everything's pruned back like this. You need branches reaching forward. This one, however, you can see behind it is a thicker trunk. It divides into 2 there. And this one kind of comes up right in line with it and kind of blocks everything there. So probably, one of these should go. Either the front one should go or keep the back one. This one, as I said, does have the foliage coming forward, which is nice. If I keep the back one, it has some branches coming forward. Tough decision. Yeah, it's a tough decision. I want everything smoothly flowing. I think this one's okay. It provides a bit of depth up front. If I get rid of this, what does it look like? I can kind of fill in the canopy here with this branch and this one. It's not too bad if I get rid of that. This branch behind kind of curves towards you and then up. It's not the greatest shaped branch in the world, but I think probably something would grow out the front if it's given light. So it's possible I could prune it back a bit and try and get some more branching developed. So I think I'm quite safe to remove this branch. I don't think it has a huge impact on the tree other than it kind of lightens this section up a bit, but that'll fill in. It does solve this problem of having the one branch in front of the other. So off it comes. It's coming off. Here I go. Move this one out of the way. It's gone. All right, well, how does it look? Again, it didn't really affect the tree too much. It looks fine. It's just a little emptier up top here, but that's going to fill in nicely. Yeah. Okay, well, that's one problem out of the way. There's many more to come, I'm sure. So let's have a look at the tree now. So it's a little crowded here. This branch that comes forward kind of kinks over and over again. It's not the greatest flowing branch, but and the one in here is a little awkward looking. This one, you know, you got the thick trunk here, and this one just sort of fills in that negative space, and maybe that's not so good. Maybe I don't need that one. I don't think I do. I think, you know, just like the roots where you want negative space between your thick trunks and your thick roots, you want a negative space. I think this is just unnecessary. I think it's cluttering it up. It looks very squeezed in here, all these three trunks. I think that one's got to be removed. Boy. Yep. Yeah, it does. It's just too much in that area. So off it comes. Now I've got to reach in there somehow. That's not going to be easy. Might have to go in with the saw. All right, I'm going to try my saw blade in here. Kind of going between these two. If I can. Here I go. Another big step today. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's the branch removed. Now I'm hoping I can get in here and kind of fix up the stub where it came from. There we go. Most of it out. Okay, and then I want to keep working away here. Okay, that's looking better. All right, well, let's stand back and have a look at that and see if it looks any better. Here's a look at the tree now. I think that's a big improvement. I think it needed that negative space in there. It was just too jammed in there. So yeah, I think everything we've done today has been very positive to the tree. Now, the one I'm worried about is this one over here, this branch. It kind of, instead of curving up, it curves outwards and up. So it's kind of the opposite curve of what I want. So I don't really see a solution for that. I think it's just got to be removed. I mean, it kind of crosses this other branch here too. The only solution, you could like guy wire it down and try and reverse that curve on it. You know, there it's straightened out now. I could, you know, real extreme bending, it just straightens out. I would have to like really put some thick wire and bend it. But, you know, the thick wire, bending it like that would leave all these spiral marks on it. So I'm going to remove it. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so let me just see what it would look like without it. Oh, it's a big step. I don't know. It really kind of diminishes the width. I almost need that branch. I put it underneath that other one for now. Maybe that's the solution. I've got it kind of bending. It's underneath this branch here, which will hold it in place. When this sets in place, then I can remove this branch here, and I'll have it fanning outwards nicely. I think that'll work. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I think that'll do the trick. You know, as I said, removing that, it would just make it look not wide enough in this area of the tree. It needs that width here to flow upwards. So I'll leave this tree like that for today, I think. You know, not great big steps ahead, but certainly some big decisions and definitely improvements to the tree. I might as well try and root these two branches I removed. I'll stick them in my pot full of cuttings in the greenhouse, see if they root and, you know, maybe form new trees from them someday. I'm going to do a little trimming up top. You can see there's some shoots that are getting long. Just prune back the more vigorous branches to kind of balance the vigor of the canopy. So here I go. And I won't use the blue scissors. I think that's pretty good. I think it's got most of the major, you know, really vigorous shoots pruned back. So I'll let it grow once again, grow and recover. And the process will go on, continuing to try and refine the tree to make it better and better each year. Here's a final look at the tree. I'll put it back in the greenhouse, and there's one more ficus I want to work on today. The other ficus I wanted to work on today is this Ficus Elastica, or rubber tree. You can see it's grown a lot of aerial roots out the drainage hole. There's 3 trunks in here, and my goal is to keep this small, make it a small miniature rubber tree. So I've let it grow, and now I'm going to prune it back. All right, I'm going to start with the pruning. So I want to keep it very miniature, this tree, so I'm going to prune it off here. I've got kind of a vertical leaf that can be my new leader when it buds out from there, so I'll take it off there. And the main trunk comes up, it divides into, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 branches on it, so it's a lot of nice branching on it. I think I'm going to take it off here, like that. Then I've got a branch coming out here, and do I prune it to a horizontal leaf? Maybe this one back here, taking the top off there. And then I've got a small trunk, the 3rd trunk here, and I'll prune it to a vertical leaf just to keep it growing upright. Now let me have a look at it. I think the front is somewhere about here. So you're kind of looking at the front there. I need to remove this big leaf that's hanging down that you can't see anything, so I'll take that off. And I'm going to remove this one, just so you can see in there a little better, so you can see the trunk structure now. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I don't think I need to prune it any shorter than that. I think, you know, that's a good size. I am going to prune the roots that are growing out of the drainage holes. If you let them grow, they'll thicken up and eventually it could crack your pot or totally block the drainage hole. So I'll just prune it off here. Like that. Cleaning it up underneath. And I think that's it for this tree. I could defoliate it, but I don't think I need to. I think all is quite good there. Here is a close-up look at the rubber tree forest. So even though it's, you know, very small, here's my hand, it's just a little taller than the height of my hand. Yeah, it's looking good. They're starting to get branches. You can see the leaves can be reduced. As soon as these buds start growing up top, I'll remove the larger leaves up here. It'll give the tree a more miniature appearance. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. So far, it's doing really well. It looks like I finished the pruning just in time. It's starting to rain. So that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.